Let's make a mega dungeon. One room a day, one level a month, 365 rooms in a year. Sean McCoy, the creator of the sci-fi horror RPG Mothership, among other things, posted this in what sure feels like the final fiery days of Twitter, and people are loving it. He's calling it Dungeon 23, and it's a great way to get your creative juices flowing. The community is already pumping out the jams. There's a host of useful tools and inspiring lists out there to help you with this and other less ambitious projects. I'm still figuring out exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to go about doing it, but I am in. Who knows what the social media landscape is going to look like over the course of the next year, but I'll be sharing my work. Check my links for all the places you can find and follow me. I love this type of big, ambitious project broken up into manageable chunks, and I hope you join in, make some awesome stuff, and share it with us all. Treat it like a New Year's resolution if you like that sort of thing, and if you don't, or you're watching this at a different time of year, just treat it as a game or a project and dive on in. It's a great little creative exercise to just sit down a couple minutes every day, and at the end of it, you'll have your very own mega dungeon. Now, Sean McCoy is going pen and paper using a semi-fancy planner to record his creation. He suggests keying the rooms using the dates, which makes less sense to my non-US viewers. We format it month, day, year, so 12, 26, 22. And I'll admit, day, month, year makes more sense logically, but not for numbering your dungeon rooms. He's using a Hobonichi Weeks planner, and there's definitely an appeal to using something formatted like that, so it keeps things manageable, organized, plus creative works like adapt to the containers they're placed in, and you're naturally going to get a different result based on how you go about things. The size of the page, or the layout, lined paper, grids, bullet journals, these things are subtly going to influence your results. Personally, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go digital to make it more easy to share results with you and also edit and mess with the layers. I want different levels connecting in interesting ways, but I'm already, getting way ahead of myself. And honestly, part of me is considering picking up a planner so I can go pen and paper here, right? Because analog can definitely connect you to a project in a different way. Unlock that childlike creative part of you and make it feel like play and not work. I'm on the fence at the time of recording this. I might just go get a cheap planner at the dollar store to kind of take the pressure off. But I looked at these recommended books and now I want one. Look at this beauty. I'll put a link below. There's a bunch of options out there. But again, don't feel like you'll need anything special. If you've got a journal, a notebook laying around, go for it. You have a preferred software, a digital approach to things, cool. We don't want to get hung up on the minutia. We want to create. That's the whole idea here. How you or I decide to record and capture it is not the point. In the article developing his ideas for Dungeon 23, Sean McCoy stresses to not get bogged down in the details. Don't overthink it. Don't make a grand plan. Just sit down each day and focus on writing a good dungeon room. Don't overthink it. That's great advice. I need to hear it repeated every so often. If you got super excited about making a 365 room dungeon, you may already have started to formulate this grand plan, but the idea here is slow and steady, one room at a time. That keeps it approachable. But maybe you're feeling like the whole thing is overwhelming still, and there's just no way you can fill up 12 levels with interesting adventure. Well, make 12 separate dungeons or 52 separate dungeons. Let's take it easy on ourselves and have fun with it. Sometimes that's easier said than done, and maybe you're thinking there's no way you can come up with all these ideas on your own. Well, you don't have to sit in silence staring at a blank page, hoping the muse alights on your shoulder on gossamer wings and whispers sweet nothings in your ear. There are a ton of places to mine for inspiration and a galaxy of tools out there that you can use. Check out the second bullet point in Sean's article. Generators are your friend. The point isn't to get stuck writing the perfect room. The point is to write a room. Randomize the monster, treasure, whatever items you need. He mentions a few good resources, and there's a whole world of others out there. I'd love to see the comments section under this video fill up with everybody sharing their favorites. I just got my copy of the Tomb of Adventure Design, the new one, and I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this during Dungeon 23. Maybe I'll make a video on this book eventually, once I've done the deep dive on it. There's a ton of stuff in here, but so far I like what I see. Maybe I'll do a video on a bunch of different resources, random generators, tables, that sort of thing. If you've been with me for a while now, you know I love my integrated encounter tables for making wilderness travel exciting and interesting. We recently took one of those and turned it into a dungeon. I'll link that video here and in the description. You are welcome to use my tables from Patreon and the DMs Guild to populate some rooms of your mega dungeon, and if you can toss a couple coppers my way in the process while you're there, I always appreciate that. And there might come a day where you can't come up with anything. You don't like the results you're rolling, you feel like you're uninspired, or maybe you're simply in a hurry, right? Well, don't underestimate the value of empty rooms. If you can't think of what to write that day, just write empty room. See how easy that is? Dungeons need empty rooms. Megadungeons even more so. They're places the players can catch their breath, spacers, right, to stop like noise and light from alerting too many monsters of the party's presence at the same time. They can also serve as buffers between different factions' territories. Maybe we come back and fill them with a random encounter or a secret door or something later. Just knowing that you can say, I label this room empty on any given day takes some of the pressure off, doesn't it? Again, sometimes we gotta lower the stakes and go for quantity over quality if we hope to achieve either. 365 rooms written like 3 orcs, 25 gold pieces is better than 5 rooms written in this beautiful hand-carved obsidian room. Sit 3 orcs arguing over a dice game, 25 gold pieces sit on the table. Each of them, see what I'm getting at? The goal is the finish line. Just get to the finish line. Trust me. Now, maybe you rather have more elaborate descriptions and wouldn't find 3 orcs, 25 gold, and some empty rooms super useful at your table. And I get it. Do your thing. Again, I think the emphasis is on quantity over quality, so you can just focus on getting it done. So often we get tripped up on judging a thing before we've actually completed it, or let's be honest, even started it sometimes, and that can prevent us from achieving and enjoying as much as we potentially could if we just got out of our own way. Or is that me? As long as we're examining hang-ups, fear of failure is up there too, right? Maybe this idea sounds cool to you, but you're afraid you'll do it for a while and then fall off. The shine will go off of it, you'll lose motivation, and you won't finish. Well, let's say you only get a couple levels of a dungeon done. Awesome, now you have that. You can run it for people, you can expand on it later when you are feeling reinvigorated by actually playing through it, or when you simply need more content because the players reached that stairwell going down to the next level, which you haven't made yet. Maybe you don't want to go the distance because other things come up, or things just feel complete, right? Maybe you only go for the 100 rooms. That's great. Try it out, take the leap. I will say making a public announcement that you're going to do a thing can be a big motivator to help you keep going. Utilize that peer pressure. It's part of the reason this video exists. Another part of this whole thing is that participating in a collective project that has a built-in sense of community can be super helpful to keep moving and motivated as well. Hashtag Dungeon23 has been trending on Twitter and the various contenders to replace it. I'm going to open up a channel on the Verdigris Table Discord as well, where people can come to share their progress and ideas. Look around and there's already awesome, inspiring stuff getting created to help folks, including this set of worksheets from All Dead Generations with a beautiful adaptation of a WPA National Parks poster, which makes me super happy for a host of reasons. Also, check out this sweet logo from the Lone Archivist that will soon be in sticker form, which will be perfect if you are using a journal. They've also made a Facility 23 logo for people who'd rather do a more like sci-fi version of a Megadungeon, like a lab complex overrun by zombies and weird experiments, or a space station filled with alien technology. I've seen people building cities with this approach, and I was considering building like wilderness hexes or tables for different biomes instead, just yesterday. I'm still thinking about mixing and matching, honestly. I might end up with like 10 dungeon levels and spend a month on the environs above it and another on like the nearby town. Make it your own, adapt it to suit your own needs and preferences and style. Do it up. No one even has to see it, though I do encourage you to share it with us over on the Discord, whatever social media outlet still brings you joy, and or with your players. Make a thing. Then you can make it better. Make a grand, audacious thing and take it one bit at a time. Once it exists, it can grow and evolve, but don't try to figure out the perfect approach or system or the contents of all 12 levels of your mega dungeon before you begin, or you might never get started. Gather your ideas for a couple days, sure, then get to creating. Treat it like a practice. Treat it like a game. Be kind to yourself and have fun. I've got links below in the description to everything we discussed and all the places you can follow me to see my progress on Dungeon 23, and I'm hoping where you can come and share yours with me as well.